Franny, where do I begin to tell you how much I love and miss you? May the 14th change my life forever. I lost the love of my life, my rock, my best friend, my protector, my everything. We have had such an amazing, happy, fun, adventurous life. We laughed every day and just loved being together. We have such a beautiful family who absolutely adore you, as does everyone who knows you. I see a lot of your fun and cheeky ways in our children and grandchildren, and that gives me such happiness. I have loved you for 47 years, and I will love you forever. My one and only true love, my green eyes, my heart is broken until we meet again. I've just got this little poem. Don't remember me with sadness. Don't remember me with tears. Remember all the laughter we've shared throughout the years. Now I am contented that my life it was worthwhile, knowing that I passed along the way. I made somebody smile. When you are walking down the street and you've got me on your mind, I'm walking in your footsteps, only half a step behind. So please don't be unhappy, just because I'm out of sight. Remember that I'm with you each morning, noon and night.
Our Dad, from my brother Matty and I. It's hard to know where to start with a man like you, Dad. Nothing seems to do you justice. You are and always will be our hero, the strongest man we know. There was nothing you couldn't do, our real life superhero. You were our teacher in life, and we're a bit lost without you. If we needed advice or help with anything, you were the first person we thought of. With one phone call or visit, you'd have sorted us out with fixing something or telling us what we needed to do. Your brother, our Uncle John, told us our granddad always taught you both to go the extra mile, to leave an extra finishing touch and lasting impression on whatever you did. And that's you to a T in every aspect of your life, Dad. From your floor laying to your DIY to your interactions with people, you left a lasting impression that made everyone smile. Your zest for life and for totally being yourself was infectious. As typical kids, we'd be embarrassed by some of your antics, but as adults, we absolutely loved everything about your silliness and entertaining. Like when you and Mum took us to Florida and you lost your front tooth eating a rock-hard strawberry lolly ice. You took great pleasure in walking around with a massive grin, laughing hysterically at how mortified we were, until we made you buy some glue from the pharmacy and pop it back in. In any crowded places, you'd randomly shout, "Hey Jimmy!" Then turn around with everyone else pretending to look for who said it, giggling away. You'd say, "Don't worry kids, you'll never see these people again." That was your mantra. Be unapologetically you and find fun and laughter in everything you can. It's something we're going to try and live by more. True love. One of the very first lessons you taught us. You and Mum will always be an inspiration. 47 years of loving each other. True soulmates. The way you still looked at each other with so much love was amazing. It's what we both strive for. We promise to take care of your one true love, our beautiful Mum, until you come again, Dad. One of the hardest parts of losing you, Dad, is knowing how much your grandkids will miss their pops and how much they will miss out on from you. Harrison is like you in so many ways. He has your mechanical mind, a fascination with figuring things out, a wonderful kind spirit. Rebecca has your stubbornness and love of laughter. That same cheeky side shines through. Franklin, you were two peas in a pod with your stuntman antics and love of entertaining. Never sitting still with that zest for life and infectious smile. Matty promises to keep calling him Tosh for you. And baby Arthur. Although he's only a few months old, we can already see that sparkle in his eye. The same one you had that meant you were going to change lives and the world. He's already charming everyone he meets, and that's thanks to his amazing pops. Along with Franny and Benny, we promise to keep your legacy alive with our beautiful children. You wrote a poem for our granddad's eulogy when he passed. Reading over it, it could easily be about you too, Dad. You were so alike. You had such a way with written words, another amazing talent of our amazing dad. We've taken an excerpt and changed a few words for you. The man who could do the Mick Jagger walk, the man who could do the Ozzy Osbourne talk. He made us laugh when we were down. You could always trust him to be the clown. Holidays away, he'd win a prize, which really wasn't any surprise. He won the karaoke, he was at his best, and came first in the Mr. Tenerife contest. Whether it be fixing a tap or building something anew, our dad was our teacher, of which there were few. He amazed us with tools and knowledge of old, of which we are grateful and have stories untold. When telling a joke, he would animate it all the way, so even the dodgiest of jokes would have us giggling away. Often he'd sing Cry Me a River by Michael Bublé, that could only be sung in the Franny Connors way. Whether you need a tap, washer, a carpet or mat, Franny Connors was the man for that. With tools in hand, glue and tape, he'd fix that problem and no money he'd take. We're so proud of you, Dad, and we'll miss you so. You'll still make us laugh when we're feeling low. You're one of a kind and we'll always love you. Keep entertaining up there and do what you do. Good night, Dad.
I've been so incredibly lucky to have known Fran for the last 20 plus years and to have been welcomed into his family. The first time I met him, he told me to remember this face as he'd done his level best to scare me off and protect his darling Chez. And boy would I remember it. As you can imagine, I have so many stories I could share and I intend to do so in time with all his grandchildren. He took us to Disneyland once because he made a drunken promise to me after he found out I'd never been. I was 20 years of age at the time. And would you believe it, Fran, Deb, Chez and myself in Disneyland. It was absolutely brilliant. All the theme parks, water parks, fancy steakhouses, the shows, it was amazing. And even more so with Fran, who was just the biggest kid. We decided to go on one of the bigger roller coasters one day, but Fran wasn't that keen. When we got back, we couldn't see him anywhere, but in the distance we could see a grown man walking towards us with his face painted as a dragon, with the biggest smile ever. Yeah, it was bonkers. The world needs people like Fran, hard-working, utterly devoted to his family, and just plain silly. His silliness and spirit were infectious. He was an angel amongst us, leaving an indelible mark on the people around him. I consider myself to be really privileged to have spent as much time as I have with Fran. Yeah, that's never going to be enough. We've always said we'll go back to Disneyland one day with the grandchildren, and we will. And it won't just be Pops painting his face, it will be all of us this time. And that's the point, I think. Be more like Fran and you can't really go wrong. Franklin, Arthur, Harrison and Rebecca will have us all doing the funny walks, the silly jokes and doing our level best to embarrass them. Fran, you will live on in our hearts and through our children. I'll make sure they carry your spirit and zest for life. Fran, you're everything I aspire to be. Sleep tight, lad.
Hello everybody. For those who don't know me, I'm John, Franny's older brother. I'm heartbroken having to read this today. I'm both honoured and fortunate to be Franny's brother. Spent many wonderful times growing up. As we got older with all the family, Debbie, Matthew, Cheryl, the memories will last forever. The good times keep us all strong. Franny was a one-off, special, and the life and soul of the party. For reasons out of our control, myself and Carol and the rest of my family can't be there to support you all. But I know you're well looked after in New Zealand, with family and many friends you've made. When the time is right, we'll meet up again very soon as a bigger family and celebrate Franny's life.
You knew you'd met Franny and was very proud to have Franny as my brother-in-law.
So witty, so humorous, made everybody laugh, always had a smile on his face.
Great memories of last summer, having a beer with Uncle Franny in the back garden where we are now, and he was in great form as ever.
A really funny bloke, great memories of him when we were kids going around at Christmas, always making us laugh. A really nice man.
He welcomed me straight into his family home in New Zealand. That was the first time I'd ever met them. Made me feel very welcome, included me in his life for 3 weeks. I was very grateful too.
It was non-stop fun and laughter from the moment we got there to the moment we left, which was the same every time we were with him.
What's that?
What were you going to say?
You got anything to say, Zach? We have raising glass to Franny.
Cheers,
Uncle Franny.
Uncle Franny.
Uncle Franny.
Cheers,
Cheers,
Uncle
Franny.
Franny.
Cheers.
Loved and
Cheers,
never
Uncle Franny.
forgotten.
Mere words cannot do justice to Franny's overwhelming personality, his generosity and sense of humour, but my words today are for you, Debbie. Brian and I met you 15 years ago when you joined me at the reception desk at the Ko-Fi surgery, and both you and Franny have been an important part of our lives since then. Your deep love for each other is evident to all, and Debbie, my twinnie, I need to tell you this. Franny will never leave you. He is always with you, holding your hand, making sure you don't fall, and checking the gluten content on the back of the food packets. His passing has left a gaping hole in everyone's lives, but whenever we think of him, it will be with a smile and a warm heart.
Continuing on from Carmel's words, I would like to add that Fran was not just a good man. We knew an exceptionally caring husband to his wife, Debbie, and an exceptional father and grandfather to all his children and grandchildren. He was a man who would help family and friends whenever he could. We will all miss him dearly. For us, it will be the comedian, his spontaneity of jokes, the entertainer, the game show host, the singer, his mastery of the song My Way. All of these he would perform for us at our dinner parties, with joy on his face and bringing joy to ours. You certainly did do it your way, Fran, and we would love you for that. You continue to give us great happiness and joy when we see the many photos and videos of all the happy times we spent together. We never wasted a minute of fun, did we? May we all meet up again one day for more of the same. God bless you, Fran, and all your family.
I first met Fran only 10 years ago, but it seemed like we'd known each other for much longer than that, and we almost felt that we'd been separated at birth as brothers, hence the name Chuckle Brothers. We just had so much in common, sense of humour, music, and we just hit it off so well so quickly. We would spend sessions just telling jokes one after the other, and yeah, it was almost like we could read each other's minds. He was a bit of a quirky bugger. He was in the army for years but wouldn't eat mashed potato or mince, two staple foods I would have thought, and hated wine, wouldn't drink wine. But some of the memories that come back are things like sitting in the spa at Debbie and Fran's with Franny with Judy's swim shorts on his head. Don't know what Judy was wearing at the time, but that's another story. Him with a tomato face when we'd been skiing because he refused to put sun cream on his boat race. But yeah, other times when we were out at their place just for a drink, he'd disappear to the toilet and come back dressed as a Star Wars trooper or Max Wall or Elvis or somebody else, and then we'd all end up dressing up and wearing wigs, and yeah, it was an entertaining evening. Singing, we just loved to sing, and sometimes we'd pick up my guitar and have a good thrash on it, singing in an Italian or a Spanish voice at the top of his voice. Sounded bloody awful, but it made me laugh. And but yeah, I know to you, Debbie, he was the love of your life, fantastic husband. To you, Matt and Shez and the grandkids, he was an awesome dad and pops. To me, he was the best friend I ever had, and I'll miss him enormously. So shine bright, mate, and make them laugh.
Hey Fran, here we are again. Always need 2 bites of the cherry, mate. If I can be half the man Franny was, I know I will have done well in life. Franny was not only my favourite Scouser, he was a role model to me. A diamond geezer, and hands down, the most amazing husband, father and pops, and a true friend. Franny has been in my life for as long as I've been in New Zealand, near 14 years now. I remember meeting him and thinking I've travelled halfway around the world from Eastbourne to be stuck on a building site with a Scouser. But it had to be destiny, as we had a few things in common. And no, age was not one of them, although he had way more hair than me. The old silver fox with the great dance moves. Fran had served in the Royal Engineers and fondly referred to as Pongo from me, and I had served in Royal Air Force as an airman, or Brill Cream Boy as Pongo would call me. We soon learnt that we had both served in Germany and both learnt to ski at Basic Winter Survival Course in Bavaria. Things rapidly moved on from there to the pub, which became a regular after the work at the Londoner in Hamilton. One of our fave dishes, a nice gammon steak. It became too regular though, as we would also go and have breakfast there too, most enjoyed on an early morning watching England play in the Euros or World Cup. After moving to Auckland, our friendship took on a new dimension, with Debbie and Joe at our sides, and bringing some class and refinement to our game. Franny was the obvious choice as our rebel MC at our wedding in Bali. He brought so many laughs on that day and week, and lots of our friends became friends with him too that week. And the impact Franny has on people means they have also shed a tear this week and send their condolences for all the family. We are grateful to have memories of more travel with Franny and Debbie, and once again, Franny's true nature came out when we were in Samoa, when he and Deb organised a school visit so they could donate items and see what else they could do with the community. This couple managed to spread kindness wherever they go, even on holiday. Franny was always thinking of others. He had so much love to give, that fella. But all of this love was abandoned on that same holiday when the cards came out. Such a cunning scouse. I earned the name Titty Lip from him, and I never redeemed myself, and he remains the gin rummy queen. We will miss our holidays, catch-ups, fancy dress parties, quiz nights. We will miss Franny just being Fran with his Deb. Absolutely beautiful to be a part of. Debbie, Matt and Cheryl, we are so sorry Franny was taken from you so early. You had the most amazing husband and father. He filled your lives with love and laughter, and we are some of the lucky ones that got some of that too, and we will miss him forever.
Everybody, to start with a football analogy, there is only one Franny Connors. I've tried so hard to think of the right words to say today. Whilst I feel so sad, the passing of Franny, I also know I have been so lucky to have had the privilege to be friends with the most amazing man for almost 30 years. When I needed him, he steered and supported me through difficult times, but mostly we shared fantastic, hilarious days and nights. The mutiny on the St. Lucia pirate ship, who brings their own fancy dress outfits with them halfway around the world, days at the races where I never saw him lose, Irish horses and jockeys with blue tunics seem to be the secret. Watching Franny sing Mac the Knife whilst on a cruise ship where he had to follow the world champion Elvis impersonator was something Bobby Darin himself might have struggled with. But Franny, as always, met the challenge head on and stole the show. But really, I expected nothing less. Barbecues, Halloween parties, days and nights out, we laughed through them all. Franny often said to me, especially before moving to New Zealand, "Phil, this life is not a practice run." And as always, he was true to his word, and he lived life to the fullest. We have undoubtedly lost one of the very best, and the world would be a much poorer place without Franny. To Debbie, Matty, Cheryl and all the family, you were indeed blessed, and we hope all the fantastic memories will help carry you through the difficult days ahead. We trust you know you're in our thoughts, and not just for today. Franny, we miss you so much, and you'll never be forgotten. To everybody celebrating Franny's life today, be kind, be good, and be happy. Take care, everybody. Hey, Deb, where's me shirt?
This one?
That one there. Good luck, everybody. Have a great day.